Hey everybody, Artemis Fowl, the brand new Disney Plus movie that just came out. I watched it last night, I had some time to think about it, so here's my review on it. This movie's not good. I mean, not good at all. I'm not sorry I watched it because I've finally got something to talk about that's not, Pokemon related, it's not gaming related, but I mean, if I had to watch at least one movie this week, there's probably 5 other movies I would much rather have watched for the first time, because this movie, I wouldn't say that it's a complete waste of time, because, I mean, it's part of a long-running book series, and there's probably fans of the books that might get something enjoyable out of this movie. I am not a fan of the books. I've never read the books. I haven't even heard of the books before I heard about this movie getting announced a couple of years ago, and once I saw the trailer, the first trailer that came out 2 years ago, by the way, I was excited. I mean, the trailer looked really intriguing and interesting, and I thought, Disney can make some magic out of this. Pun intended, I suppose. They did not, and the problems with the movie begin and end. I mean, it's not the only problem with the movie, but the main problem of the movie is the main character, Artemis Fowl Jr., or Artemis Fowl II, or just simply Artemis Fowl. I don't even know how to call this guy. Ferdy Shaw, a kid I've never even heard of before looking up his name just now to research for the movie. I gotta be honest, I don't like to rip artists apart just because I don't like what people do to me. I don't like to do that to other people, but I don't think the kid can act at all. I mean, this isn't like a case of the classic case of, oh, it's a child actor, so we forgive him. No, because there are other child actors in this movie that do a much better job than this guy, and he's supposed to be the main character. And this is not an exaggeration. I literally can do a better job than this kid does. I mean, I'm sorry that I have to be so negative and harsh, but I gotta be honest. I don't think the kid can act. I mean, I watched the movie and it doesn't even look like this. This doesn't even look like big budget Hollywood acting material. This looks like this kid thinks he's just playing make-believe and pretend with some friends on the playground. That's literally what it felt like. It looks like they're just playing around in the neighborhood and just, oh, we need to go find the magical sword to defeat the evil dragon. There's no magical sword or evil dragon in the movie, but I'm just saying, this is just an example. But this is pretty much how the kid was portrayed, at least, which is kind of mind-boggling to me, because this movie is directed by Kenneth Branagh, a Shakespeare-level director. How he managed to get this performance out of this kid is crazy to me, especially since, like I said, there are other child actors in the movie. Thomas Smart and Laura McDonnell, not my favorite characters by any stretch of the imagination, but they act circles around this kid. And again, I don't want to take too much time to talk about this kid because there's so much else to talk about this movie. First of all, this movie opens pretty strong. I'll say that. The movie has a great beginning, but it just completely falls apart afterwards. I mean, the movie sets up a very interesting world. I love the world and the sort of the universe building that they did in this movie. It kind of felt like a combination of Onward and Bright. 2 movies I actually really enjoyed. So I really enjoyed the way the world was set up, and the fairies and the trolls and the goblins and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed the fact that leprechauns are actually the law enforcers for some reason, and they have magical wings, and they can shoot out of a volcano whenever necessary to capture any escaped fairy creatures and bring them to justice and make people forget that they ever saw fairies, so people can maintain the secret of fairies. But I mean, as good as the world building was, it seems like it was just a side note in what was really a very contained story. This movie has a grand scale with this huge, expensive world where fairies live in the center of the earth. but the majority of the movie takes place in one location, inside this giant mansion. And the movie has this MacGuffin called the Oculus. I think that's how they pronounce it. The Oculus, the Oculus, the Aculus. I completely forgot how they pronounce this thing. And pretty much every main character in the movie is trying to find this thing. And they kind of give you this feeling that it's a magical realm-crossing quest. It's a huge adventure. They need to go to different places to find this thing. Nope. First of all, the entire movie, well, the majority of the movie takes place in that particular mansion. And what's even worse, I'm gonna drop a huge spoiler here. The MacGuffin is actually in the location that they were in the entire time. This is just crazy to me. I mean, again, I haven't read the books. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, and also from things that I've heard from other people, apparently they took 2 or 3 books and just combined them into one movie, which I gotta question that decision, but the movie just, it doesn't make sense. And it's not just because this movie deals with goblins and fairies and stuff. The narratively, the movie doesn't make sense. And there's Josh Gad is a character that kind of narrates the majority of the movie. And when the movie begins with the Josh Gad character, kind of walking you through the entire story, you kind of start to get a feeling that there is some thought put into it. But without spoiling it again, at the end of the movie, once you actually saw the entire movie and how the Josh Gad character ends up, it just makes you question the storytelling of the entire movie, because the ending has almost nothing to do with the beginning, and it's frustrating to me. Like I said, the main character, Artemis Fowl, is one of the worst things that I've seen in a movie all year. First of all, the actor isn't good, but the character itself is just unlikable, and you just hate this. You just hate this kid, start to finish, and there's no reason for you to root for this guy, and he's supposed to be the hero of the movie. At least that's the way that it's portrayed in the movie, not necessarily in the books, because I've heard that in the first few books, he was actually the main villain. But that aside, this kid is just so unlikable, firstly because of the acting, and secondly because he does everything to make you hate him. And you actually root for the villains some of the time. By the way, the villain, Opal something, I can't even remember the name of the villain. Yeah, completely underdeveloped. I mean, first of all, you don't even see its face, which I guess, I mean, they were trying to go for some sort of mystique there, but it completely falls on its face, and it's a complete one-dimensional, one-note villain character that you don't even know anything about. You don't even know why he wants this MacGuffin that everyone's trying to get. The bodyguard character, played by Nonzo Anozi, he's actually I think he's my favorite character in the movie, and it's kind of weird to me because I think he's the second worst actor in the movie. I don't really know this actor in particular. I just think the way he was acting in this movie, maybe Kenneth Branagh told him to act stiff and mostly one note for the majority of the movie, but yeah, I just didn't really like the acting of this character. But the way that character was written, and he got a lot of really good fun one-liners, but other than that, there's really not much to this character, and he's my favorite character in the movie. This lets you know how bad all the other characters in this movie are. There's the leprechaun character, Holly Shaw, I think that's her name. Yeah, she was good, but I mean, much like the Josh Gad character and the Dame Judi Dench character, a lot of the characters just switch allegiances on a whim, and there's just no consistency throughout the entire movie. This movie, basically, the first half of the movie kind of feels like a pilot episode for a brand new fantasy-based series, and pilots normally tend to be the worst episodes in every series. I get that. That's why I guess they kind of dropped the ball after the big beginning of the movie. But once you get to the second half of the movie, once you get to the halfway point, it just stops being a pilot episode and it turns into a series finale. Season 4 or season 5 series finale where the show is supposed to end, and it kind of pretends like you already know all the characters and everything that's supposed to happen. They try to make this a big, expensive endgame style battle that takes 40 minutes or so, and you just feel like you missed out on so much other stuff because there was nothing between the pilot episode and the series finale, and you're just lost. This movie just is a complete jumbled mess, and it's officially the worst movie I've seen all year. Colin Farrell was amazing in the movie. I wish they had more of Colin Farrell in the movie. Judi Dench did what she was told, I suppose. It's not great, but it's also not bad either, so I guess I can't really complain about her. The bodyguard's niece, played by Tamara Smart, she was actually really good. She was barely even in the movie. She was only there when, I guess, they needed a giant action scene. But again, pretty much every time that the kid wasn't on screen or speaking, the movie was tolerable. When the kid was actually trying to act, it was just unbearable. And I'm sorry that I have to say this, but I gotta call the honest truth. The kid can't act. That doesn't mean that he can't learn how to act. Acting isn't just, for the most part, it's not a talent that you're born with. It's something that you kind of have to, it's like a muscle. You have to keep working on it to perfect it. So, I apologize if I sounded a bit too negative on this movie. I really wanted to like this movie. I really wanted to like this movie so much. Unfortunately, I didn't. And, yeah, that's my review on Artemis Fowl. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me speak from the heart. And, listen, go check out this movie if you're still interested. Don't let my negative opinions on the movie sway you from checking this movie out. This movie could actually work for you. It didn't for me, but maybe if you're a fan of the books or if you're just a fan of fantasy in general, I say give this movie a shot. And I really feel bad for people that actually like this movie, because this movie kind of sets up multiple sequels, and you can tell by the ending. But apparently, because it wasn't so positively received, and because it wasn't even released in theaters, and so it didn't even have a chance to make some money, we're probably never going to see any sequel at all for this movie, which is unfortunate for the people that are probably expected this movie to do well. But to me, it's just, yeah, whatever. It's another movie. So that's what I thought about Artemis Fowl. Sorry for going off on a bit of a rant there, but what do you guys think about this movie? If you've watched this movie at all, let me know in the comments below what you think about this movie. And hopefully the next time I'll get to see a movie and do a review on it, I'll have a much better experience with it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Goodbye. Hello again, everybody! I really hope you enjoyed this video, because I really enjoyed making it. So, if you like what you've seen here, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more awesome content like this. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you guys next time.